When he reached the gnarled little tree with black bark and thorny leaves, he halted. He remembered the tree. He had noticed it when he intersected the path. Using the tree as a reference, he found the spot where he had built the pyramid of the rocks. But the rocks were gone. Leaves crunched behind him, off to one side of the trail. Seth glanced at his compass to confirm that he was heading west, and ran into the woods. He had walked this way at a leisurely pace, examining toadstools and unusual rocks as he went. Now he tore through the forest at full speed, undergrowth clawing at his legs, branches whipping against his face and chest. Finally, panting, the energy of his panic wearing thin, he glimpsed the house up ahead through the trees. The sound of pursuit had dwindled to nothing. As he stepped out into the yard under the sun, Seth wondered how much of what he had heard had actually been something chasing him, and how much had been invented by his flustered imagination. The wall opposite the windows of the playroom held several rows of bookshelves. The door to the stairs was built into the wall, and one of the bulky, freestanding wardrobes was backed up against it. Kendra held a blue book with golden letters. The title was Journal of Secrets. The book was held shut by 3 sturdy clasps, each with a keyhole. The remaining key Grandpa Sorson had given him fit none of the keyholes, but the golden key she had found in the dollhouse, fit the bottom one. So one of the clasps was unlocked. She had found the book while searching the bookshelves for a trigger to the secret passage. Using a stool, Kendra had reached even the higher shelves, but so far the search had been in vain. There was no sign of a secret door. When she noticed a locked book with an intriguing title, she had quit the search in order to test her keys. With the bottom clasp unlocked, Kendra tried to pry up the corner of the book and get a peek. But the corner was solid and the binding firm. She needed to find the other keys. She heard somebody stampeding up the stairs and knew it could be only one person. Hurriedly, she shelved the book and pocketed the keys. She did not want her nosy brother interfering with her puzzle. Seth charged to the door and slammed it behind him. He was flushed and breathing hard. Dirt smeared the knees of his jeans. His face was smudged with sweat and grime. "You should have come," he sighed, flopping onto the bed. "You're getting the bedspread filthy." "It was freaky," he said. "It was so cool. What happened? I found this path in the woods and met this weird old lady who lived in a shack. I think she's a witch. A real one." "Whatever." He rolled over and looked at her. "I'm serious. You should have seen her. She was a mess." "So were you." "No, like a scabby and gross. She was biting an old rope. She tried to make me stick my hand into some box." "Did you?" "No way. I took off. But she chased me or something. She threw rocks at me and knocked me down with the big branch. It could have killed me." "You must be pretty bored." "I'm not lying." "I'll ask Grandpa Sorson if he has homeless people living in his woods," Kendra said. "No, he'll know I broke the rules." "Don't you think he would want to know if a witch built a shack on his property?" "She acted like she knew him. It went pretty far. Maybe I was off his property." "I doubt it. I think he owns everything for a long ways." Seth leaned back, lacing his fingers behind his head. "You should come visit her with me. I could find my way back." "Are you nuts? You said she tried to kill you." "We should spy on her, find out what she's up to. If there really is a weird old lady living in the woods, you should tell Grandpa so he can call the police." Seth sat up. "Okay, never mind. I made it up. Feel better?" Kendra narrowed her eyes. "I found something else cool," Seth said. "Have you seen the treehouse?" "No." "Want me to show you?" "Is it in the yard?" "Yes, on the edge." "Okay." Kendra followed Seth outside and across the lawn. Sure enough, in the corner of the yard opposite the barn, there was a light blue playhouse up in the thick tree. It was situated on the back side of the tree, making it hard to see for most of the yard. The paint was peeling a little, but the little house had hinges on the roof and curtains in the window. Boards had been nailed into the tree to form a ladder. Seth went up first. The rungs led up to the trapdoor, which he pushed open. Kendra climbed up after him. Inside, the treehouse felt bigger than it looked from the ground. There was a little table with 4 chairs. The pieces to a jigsaw puzzle were spread out on the table. Only a couple had been fit together. "See? Not bad," said Seth. "I started that puzzle. It's beautiful. You must be gifted." "I didn't work on it long." "Did you even find the corners?" "No." "That's the first thing you do." She sat down and started looking for the corner pieces. Seth took a seat and helped. Never liked puzzles, Kendra said. It's more fun doing them in a treehouse. If you say so. Seth found a corner piece and set it aside. Think Grandpa may let me move in here? You're a weirdo. I'd only need a sleeping bag, he said. You'd get freaked out once it was late. No way! The witch might come get you. Instead of responding, he started looking more intently for the other corner pieces. Kendra could tell the comment had gotten to him. She decided not to tease him any further. The fact that he seemed scared of the lady he had met in the woods legitimized his story a lot. Seth had never scared easily. This was the kid who had jumped off the roof under the misguided assumption that a garbage bag would work like a parachute. The kid who put a head of a live snake in his mouth on a dare. They found the corners and finished most of the perimeter of the puzzle by the time they heard Lena calling them for dinner. Chapter 4. The Hidden Pond. Rain pattered endlessly against the roof. Kendra had never heard such a noisy downpour. Then again, she had never been in an attic during a rainstorm. There was something relaxing about the steady drumming, so constant that it almost became inaudible without ever decreasing in volume. Standing at the window beside the telescope, she watched the deluge. The rain fell straight and hard. There was no wind, just layer upon layer of streaking droplets, blurring into a gray haze in the distance. The gutter below her was about to overflow. Seth sat on a stool in the corner, painting. Lena had been creating paint-by-numbers canvases for him, sketching them with expert speed, customizing each image. The current project was a dragon battling a knight on horseback amid a fuming wasteland. Lena had outlined the images in considerable detail, including subtleties of light and shade, so that the finished product looked quite accomplished. She had taught Seth how to mix paint and given him samples of which hue corresponded to each number. For the current painting, she had incorporated more than 90 different shades. Kendra had rarely seen Seth demonstrate as much diligency as he did on the paintings. After a few brief lessons on how to apply the paint, including the purpose of different brushes and tools, he had already finished a large canvas of pirates sacking a town and a smaller one of a snake charmer driving away from a striking cobra. 2 impressive paintings in 3 days. He was an addict, and he was almost done with the latest project. Crossing to the bookshelf, Kendra ran a hand along the spines of the volumes. She had searched the room thoroughly and had yet to find the last keyhole, let alone a secret passage to the other side of the attic. Seth could be a pest, but now that he had become immersed in his paintings, she started to miss him. Maybe Lena would outline a painting for her. Kendra had turned down her initial offer, since it sounded childish, like coloring, but the finished product looked much less juvenile than Kendra had anticipated. Kendra opened the door and descended the stairs. The house was dim and quiet, the rainfall more distant as she left the attic behind. She walked along the hall and down the stairs to the main floor. The house seemed too quiet. All the lights were out, despite the gloom. Lena? There was no answer. Kendra went through the living room, the dining room, and into the kitchen. No sign of the housekeeper. Had she left? Opening the door to the basement, Kendra peered down the steps into the darkness. The stairs were made of stone, as if leading to a dungeon. Lena! She called uncertainly. Surely the woman wasn't down there without any light. Kendra went back down the hall and slid open the door to the study. Having not yet entered this particular room, she first noticed a huge desk cluttered with books and papers. The massive head of a hairy boar with jutting tusks hung mounted on the wall. A collection of grotesque wooden masks rested on a shelf. Golfing trophies lined another. Plaques decorated with wood-paneled walls, along with framed display of military medals and ribbons. There was a black and white picture of a much younger Grandpa Sorson showing off an enormous marlin. On the desk, inside a crystal sphere with a flat bottom, was an eerie replica of a human skull, no bigger than her thumb. Kendra slid the study door closed. She tried the garage, the parlor, and the family room. Maybe Lena had run to the store. Kendra walked out to the back porch, shielding from the rain by the overhang. She loved the fresh, damp scent of rainfall. It continued to come down hard, puddling around the garden. Where did the butterflies hide from such a downpour? Then she saw Lena. The housekeeper knelt in a mud beside a bush blossoming with large blue and white roses, absolutely soaked, apparently weeding. Her white hair was plastered to her head, and her housecoat was drenched. Lena? The housekeeper looked up, smiled, and waved. Kendra retrieved an umbrella from the hall closet and joined Lena in the garden. You're sopping, Kendra said. Lena rooted out a weed. It's a warm rain. I like being out in the weather. She stuffed the weed into a bulging garbage bag. You're going to catch a cold. I don't often take ill. She paused to stare up at the clouds. It won't last much longer. Kendra tilted her umbrella back and gazed heavenward, leaden skies in all directions. You think? Wait and see. The rain will pass within an hour. Your knees are all muddy. You think I've lost my marbles. The diminutive woman stood up and spread her arms wide, tilting her head back. Do you ever look up at the rain, Kendra? It feels like the sky is falling. Kendra tilted the umbrella back again. Millions of raindrops rushed toward her, some pelting in her face and making her blink. Or like you're soaring up in the clouds, she said. I suppose I should get you inside before my unusual habits rub off. No, I didn't mean to disturb you. Back under the protection of the umbrella, Kendra wiped droplets from her forehead. I guess you don't want an umbrella. That would defeat the purpose. I'll be in shortly. Kendra returned to the house. She stole a glance at Lena through a window. It was just so peculiar. She couldn't resist spying. Sometimes Lena was working, sometimes she was smelling a blossom or stroking its petals, and the rain kept falling. Kendra was sitting on her bed, reading poems by Shel Silverstein, when the room suddenly brightened. The sun was out. Lena had been right about the rain. It had relented about 40 minutes after her prediction. The housekeeper had come inside, changed out of her wet clothes, and made sandwiches. Across the room, the painting of the knight charging the dragon was complete. Seth had gone outside an hour ago. Kendra was in a lazy mood. Just as Kendra returned her attention to the latest poem, Seth burst into the room, breathing hard. He wore only socks on his feet. His clothes were streaked with mud. You have to come see what I found in the woods. Another witch? No, way cooler. A hobo camp? I'm not going to say. You have to come and see. Does it involve hermits or lunatics? No people, he said. How far from the yard? Not far. We could get in trouble. Besides, it's muddy out. Grandpa is hiding a beautiful park in the woods, Seth blurted. What? Asked Kendra. You have to come see it. Put on galoshes or something. Kendra closed the book.